Welcome to the Holy Unraveling, where we stop pretending we're fine and start inviting God into the messy middle. I'm Silvia Farag, therapist, wife, mother. Here we talk about what no one else wants to, the pain, the fears, the unraveling, because I believe that God often begins the deepest transformation right where things fall apart. Today's episode is called The Idol of Perfectionism, when doing everything right becomes exhausting. We often assume perfectionism is about standards, but spiritually, perfectionism becomes an idol when we look to it for our worth. It isn't about excellence. Excellence is offering your best. Perfectionism is needing to be the best so you feel safe, loved, and worthy. I want to tell you a story I see all the time. She doesn't miss a thing. She's on every committee. She serves, she bakes, she hosts, she plans, she works full time. Let me introduce you to Perfect Penelope. And by the way, this can also be Perfect Pete, but I'm kind of feeling Penelope today. Penelope irons her jeans. Penelope vacuums before the cleaning lady arrives. Although I honestly tend to do that too. So she says things like, I don't want to let people down. I should be able to handle this. If I don't do everything perfectly, I spiral. Inside, she's anxious, she's exhausted, and quietly terrified of disappointing someone. Perfectionism is never about doing things right. It's about trying not to feel wrong. When you ask how she's doing, she smiles, everything's fine. But privately, she's exhausted and she's anxious. One day she sits in my office and says, I don't know how not to be the responsible one. Then she says the sentence that reveals everything. If I don't do it perfectly, who will I be? There it is. Perfectionism wasn't about excellence. It was about identity, safety, belonging. Where does perfection show up in your life? Your parenting, your marriage, your relationship with God? Perfectionism is a protector. It's not a personality trait. It usually forms in childhood for one of two reasons. You were praised for your performance. Wow, you're so responsible. You're the easy child. Or you were criticized for your mistakes. What were you thinking? Why can't you get it right? So your nervous system learned, if I perform perfectly, I'm safe. I'm accepted. In therapy, we call this the fawn response, hyperindependence. Perfectionism is a shield. It protects you from criticism, rejection, shame. But here's a trap. The brain thinks perfection equals safety, but the body experiences perfection as anxiety. In psychology, we call this protective strategy, a way to avoid that criticism, that rejection, and that shame. Here's the truth about perfectionism. It's not about excellence, it's about fear. Fear of disappointing, fear of being judged, not being enough. And that lie underneath it says, my value is based on how well I perform. Here's where we get practical. There are actual psychology-based tools to break down perfectionism, so neuroscience and coping. Tool number 1, the good enough rule. Ask yourself, what does 80% look like here? Perfectionism wants 100% effort for 10% return. But excellence says, done is better than perfect. I'm going to tell you how I know this to be true. I had the idea for this podcast for years. People kept telling me, Silvia, you need to start a podcast. Your voice, your stories, your insight, it needs to be shared. Plus, apparently people would rather listen than read. But to be honest, I was more comfortable hiding behind the writing. So every time I'd say, I know, maybe someday, I just need to plan it. I need to plan it well, perfectly. But obviously that meant full branding strategy, custom backing track, soundproofing my office like a NASA control room, a $2,000 mic that whispers affirmations while recording to ease my nerves. But I told myself if it wasn't perfect, I was just going to prepare. But really, I was afraid of messing up, afraid of people not liking it, afraid of not being good enough at something I felt called to do. Perfectionism sounded like excellence, but really it was fear dressed up as responsibility. So one day I literally said to myself, what if I just do this? Not polished, not ready, clearly not perfect, just obedient. So I sat down, I opened my laptop, no fancy mic, tech challenged, and I hit record and said, all right, this is happening. If it's a holy mess, then it's a holy mess. There's a reason Nike didn't go with just plan it or just make sure it's done perfect before you try. They went with just do it, because action builds confidence, not overthinking. And then something clicked. The blessing was never in perfect execution. The blessing was in the obedience to start. Sometimes excellence is not perfect preparation. Sometimes excellence is just showing up. Tool number 2, the micro-brave step. Instead of asking, what's the right way? Ask yourself, what's the next step? Your nervous system only needs the next doable step to relax. One foot in front of the other, step by step. Tool number 3, somatic reset. This regulates fight or flight. When perfectionism hits, the nervous system goes into fight mode. So try this. Unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, exhale longer than you inhale. This actually lowers your blood pressure. This tells your body, I'm safe. Don't need to perform to belong. Tool number 4, the reparenting script. When you catch yourself spiraling into pressure, say, I don't earn love by performing. I receive love by being. I want you to complete this sentence. If I'm not perfect, I fear people will think blank. Whatever word lands in that blank, that's the vulnerability perfection is protecting. The Bible uses the word perfect, but not the Instagram version of perfect. In Greek, teleos means whole, mature, complete, not flawless. Christ didn't ask for perfection. He asks for surrender. My grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in weakness. Notice, his power is made perfect in weakness, not performance. He didn't say, come to me, all who are perfect and productive. He said, come to me, all who are weary. God is not waiting for a perfect, polished version of you. He wants the honest one. His power is made perfect, not in your performing, but in your weakness. Take a deep breath and answer this honestly. We're going to reflect. Where am I performing instead of connecting? Who am I trying to impress or protect? What would good enough look like this week? Just notice. All right, here's your homework. And yes, I just gave homework on a podcast. This is the practice for the week. Every time perfectionism shows up, pause and say, Lord, I choose progress over perfection. I choose presence over performance. Then I want you to do this deliberately. Leave one thing imperfect on purpose. Yes, on purpose. Send that email or that text without rewriting it 14 times. Record the thing instead of obviously planning the thing, like I did. I'm pretty sure you can picked up all of my stumps and stutters, but guess what? Here I am showing up and I'm doing it. Clarity doesn't come from overthinking. Confidence comes from doing. You don't need to be flawless to be faithful. You don't need to be impressive to be loved. God isn't asking for perfection. He's asking for presence. And sometimes the holiest thing you can do is stop trying so hard. You are not loved because you're perfect. You are loved because you are His. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who's tired of performing perfection. And remember, sometimes the unraveling is the beginning of becoming whole. Make sure to follow for episode 3 anxiety or discernment, learning to hear God's voice. Till we meet again.